Before you buy your next pack of butter, take a moment to watch this, because the butter sitting in your fridge right now may not be real butter at all. Many of the most familiar brands, those we trust, those we've used for years, are quietly changing their formulas. They look like butter, they're priced like butter, and they're advertised as natural. But a growing number of these products contain refined vegetable oils, fillers, preservatives, and additives that older adults were never told about. Here is the contradiction. These spreads are marketed as convenient, softer, easier to use. Yet several of them no longer meet the basic standards of real butter. Some contain barely half the amount of actual dairy fat. Others use oils processed with high heat and chemical solvents, ingredients linked to inflammation, heart strain, and digestive problems, especially for seniors. Over the past weeks, we've spoken with dairy workers, food scientists, and former factory employees. What they revealed was far more concerning than simple recipe changes. By the end of this investigation, you will know exactly which products to avoid, why they're risky, and what safer alternatives you should be buying for yourself and your family. Butter is one of the simplest foods we keep in our kitchens. Just cream, sometimes a little salt, and nothing more. That simplicity is exactly why this investigation matters. In recent years, the butter market has changed quietly but significantly. Many brands have shifted away from traditional dairy ingredients and toward cheaper blends, refined vegetable oils, and industrial processing techniques. These changes are rarely highlighted on the front of the packaging, leaving most consumers unaware that the products in their refrigerator may not resemble real butter at all. Regulators in the United Kingdom and Europe define butter as a product containing at least 80% milk fat. Anything diluted with vegetable oils is no longer considered pure butter. Yet many spreadable products sit beside real butter in the dairy aisle, sharing nearly identical packaging and color schemes. Older adults who often shop based on habit and trust may not realize that a soft or easy-to-spread label usually means the product contains refined oils or additives. This makes it easy for marketing to overshadow the ingredient list. There are also broader concerns linked to these formulations. Refined vegetable oils such as rapeseed and sunflower oil are extracted using high heat and solvents before being bleached and deodorized. These processes can create compounds associated with inflammation and oxidative stress. For seniors managing arthritis, cardiovascular disease, or high blood pressure, chronic exposure to these fats can carry long-term risks. Added salt, preservatives, and stabilizers found in some budget or blended products may place additional strain on sensitive digestive and cardiovascular systems. Recent reports from food safety agencies and interviews with dairy workers reveal another layer of complexity sourcing. Milk used in low-cost butter alternatives often comes from intensive farming systems where cows receive grain-based diets rather than natural pasture. This affects the nutritional quality of the cream and the stability of the butter fat. Understanding these realities is essential. Without clear, accessible guidance, many families may believe they are buying traditional dairy when they are actually paying for heavily altered substitutes. The purpose of this investigation is to bring those hidden details into the light so older adults and their families can protect their health through informed, confident choices. Lorac Spreadable is one of the most recognizable butter products on supermarket shelves. Its silver packaging and premium image make shoppers believe they are buying high-quality dairy. But when you look closely, the product contains only about 64% real butter. The remaining portion is made up of refined rapeseed oil water and added lactic culture. This blend is marketed as a convenience improvement, yet the smooth texture comes from industrial processing rather than natural butter fat. Rapeseed oil, especially when refined under high heat, contains elevated omega-6 fatty acids which contribute to inflammation, something older adults are particularly vulnerable to. Many people also don't notice how similar the spreadable packaging is to real butter, a choice that can easily mislead consumers. In short, Lorac Spreadable is not pure butter, and the difference becomes clear when you cook with it. Anchor Spreadable has built a reputation as a trusted, long-standing brand. Yet its spreadable product contains even less butter, only about 55%. The rest is water, rapeseed oil, buttermilk powder, and preservatives. The use of buttermilk powder helps imitate a creamy texture but indicates cost-cutting. Although the brand promotes imagery of New Zealand dairy farms, the spreadable line is produced in Europe using mixed milk sources. This disconnect between image and reality is a major reason many consumers feel misled. For older adults, the combination of refined oils and preservative agents poses additional concerns, especially for those managing inflammation or high blood pressure. Despite being priced as a premium product, the quality simply does not match the branding. Tesco Everyday Value. Butter is one of the cheapest options available, and its low cost reflects the quality of the milk behind it. Much of the milk used comes from intensive farming systems, where cows are kept indoors and fed grain instead of grass. This results in butter with a pale color, weak flavor, and unstable structure. When melted, it often separates into water and fat, a sign of rushed production and low-quality cream. Budget butters also tend to contain more salt to mask blandness, which is not ideal for older adults managing blood pressure. While the packaging uses the term butter, it does not reveal how much the production process differs from traditional churning or naturally fermented cream. As does extra special, slightly salted butter appears to be a premium upgrade. Yet testing shows it is nearly identical to Asda's standard butter in both ingredients and quality. The higher price seems to be tied more to packaging than actual improvement. The milk used is sourced from multiple countries, leading to inconsistent taste and texture. Some batches show early signs of spoilage, suggesting unstable fat structure. High-temperature pasteurization used to extend shelf life weakens the natural integrity of butterfat and reduces flavor. For seniors with more sensitive digestion, these variations can cause discomfort. The extra special label creates an impression of quality that the product doesn't truly deliver. Sainsbury's own butter also suffers from batch inconsistency. In some purchases, the butter tastes overly salty. In others, it's almost flavorless. Texture can vary from too soft to oddly oily. This inconsistency comes from using mixed milk sources and an imprecise removal of buttermilk during production. Excess residual buttermilk leads to faster spoilage and a less stable product. The phrase "British cream" on the packaging may give the impression of exclusively British dairy, but it often refers only to the location of processing, not where the milk originates. For older adults, unpredictable salt levels pose additional health concerns. Aldi Cowbell British. Butter is marketed as an affordable option, but low prices often indicate shortcuts in raw ingredients and production. The pale color of the butter suggests milk from grain-fed cows, which naturally contains less beta-carotene and fewer beneficial nutrients. The unusually long shelf life raises questions about processing methods used to preserve the product. Under high heat, industrial manipulation of milk fat can create a butter that looks normal but performs poorly in cooking, separating quickly in a pan. Seniors who rely on predictable, digestible foods may find this butter difficult to tolerate. The term "British" on the label refers only to where the butter is manufactured, not where the milk comes from. One of the most misleading products on the market is margarine sold under names that imply similarity to butter, such as "I can't believe it's not butter." These products contain no butter at all. Instead, they are blends of refined vegetable oils, rapeseed, sunflower, and palm oil combined with emulsifiers, artificial color preservatives, and synthetic flavors meant to mimic the aroma of dairy. Vegetable oils are extracted using chemical solvents and high heat, stripping them of natural nutrients and creating compounds that promote inflammation. For older adults who are more susceptible to chronic inflammatory conditions and cardiovascular issues, these products can be particularly harmful over time. The marketing relies on the idea that the taste is comparable to butter, when in fact the product is a fully industrial formulation designed to imitate it. For all the concerns raised so far, one product stands out as the most misleading, the most industrially processed, and the most misunderstood margarine marketed as a butter alternative, especially the long-established brand "I can't believe it's not butter." This product does not meet any traditional definition of butter, yet for decades it has been placed beside real dairy products in supermarket refrigerators, borrowing the language, color, and imagery of butter to win consumer trust. What makes this category particularly concerning is how deeply it shaped public perception. Beginning in the 1980s, margarine brands promoted themselves as heart-healthy, emphasizing lower saturated fat while avoiding disclosure about how the oils were extracted and chemically refined. Reports from food science journals have documented the processing steps involved: high heat extraction, solvent use, bleaching, deodorizing, and blending with emulsifiers. Each step alters the oil's natural structure, producing compounds associated with inflammation and oxidative stress. For older adults, these changes matter. Inflammation plays a central role in conditions such as arthritis, heart disease, cognitive decline, and high blood pressure. While butter contains naturally occurring fats that the body can metabolize, refined oils require far more processing inside the digestive system. Some studies have shown that frequent consumption of heavily refined vegetable oils may disrupt lipid balance, especially in seniors with compromised metabolic function. The most troubling aspect is the product's branding. The name itself implies that the difference between margarine and butter is nearly indistinguishable. Yet the ingredients list tells a completely different story. One of industrial oil's chemical additives, artificial flavoring and colorants designed to mimic what real butter provides naturally. This is the clearest example in the entire investigation of how marketing can shape beliefs while masking the true nature of a product. It is the moment that reveals just how far from real dairy some butter alternatives have drifted. Understanding the risks is only the first step. The most important part of this investigation is knowing how to choose safer, more reliable butter products for yourself and your family. Many consumers, especially older adults, may feel overwhelmed by long ingredient lists or confusing marketing terms. But with a few simple guidelines, you can avoid low-quality blends and select real, nutrient-rich dairy. The first rule is to read the label carefully. Real butter should list only 2 ingredients, cream and salt, or just cream if unsalted. If you see vegetable oils, emulsifiers, colors, or preservatives, the product is not pure butter. Be cautious with the word spreadable. This almost always indicates a blend of butter and refined oils, even when the packaging looks similar to traditional blocks of butter. Second, look for signs of transparency. Brands that clearly state single-source cream, grass-fed, or organic tend to follow stricter production standards. Grass-fed butter is naturally deeper yellow due to beta-carotene, and its fat profile is often more balanced, which can benefit older adults managing cardiovascular health. Third, pay attention to shelf life. Real butter does not stay fresh for months without freezing. A product that sits in the refrigerator for an unusually long time may have been processed to extend its lifespan, which often means more additives or aggressive heat treatment. For seniors, choosing unsalted or lightly salted butter can help reduce daily sodium intake. If you have heart concerns or high blood pressure, consult your healthcare provider about the amount of dairy fat appropriate for your diet. In everyday cooking, consider using small amounts of high-quality butter rather than larger amounts of cheaper blends. Not only does this protect your health, but it also improves the flavor and texture of your meals. With these practical steps, you can navigate the dairy aisle with confidence and avoid products that compromise both quality and well-being. The findings in this investigation highlight a quiet shift in the butter aisle that many families overlook. Several products that appear trustworthy are in reality diluted blends or industrial spreads built to look and taste like butter. For older adults who are more vulnerable to inflammation, heart strain, and changes in blood pressure, these hidden differences can have real consequences. True butter made only from cream and salt offers a level of simplicity and predictability that highly processed blends cannot match. By understanding how these products are formulated and recognizing the signs of quality on the label, households can choose foods that better support long-term health. Awareness is one of the most powerful protections consumers have, and it begins with knowing what we bring into our kitchens. Before you leave, I'd like to hear your experience. Have you ever bought one of the products discussed today, and did you notice any difference when cooking or tasting it? Your story may help other families make safer choices. If you want clear, evidence-based investigations that protect your household's health, consider subscribing so you don't miss future reports. We publish straightforward guidance designed especially for older adults and anyone concerned about food quality. Thank you for taking the time to watch this investigation. Your attention and care for your family's well-being truly make a difference.